Unfiltered, the official Sunderland AFC podcast.
Welcome to SAFC Unfiltered. Myself and Danny find ourselves once again on another glorious day up at the Academy Light, and this time we're going to speak to Patrick Roberts. What have you made of Patrick so far this season?
Well, certainly at the weekend I thought he was excellent. You can see he's getting up to fitness. He was sharp, he was involved heavily in the game, creating opportunities, could have had a penalty. I think that's come obviously with the game time he's getting now. Got his goal last week against Crewe as well. So let's hope it continues for him.
Yeah, he certainly showed what he can do, and he's definitely coming into his own over the last couple of games, getting a goal as well against Crewe, didn't he, a couple of games ago. He could have a big part to play in this season, couldn't he?
I think so, yeah. Certainly Patrick and a few of the others as well. We're looking at lads coming back from injury. Two key players, I think, will be Nathan Broadhead and Alex Pritchard as well, if we get them back for Gillingham next week, certainly. But yeah, for the running, crucial. These lads, we've tightened it up at one end of the pitch, but unfortunately at Charlton and at the weekend we couldn't put the ball away. So we've done a good job at one end of the pitch, but we've just let a few points slip, and it's going to be tight this running now. There's some teams around us scrambling to get into those playoff places, so it's going to be interesting.
He's had an interesting career. It's going to be interesting to find out about his journey, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, he's still a young lad. You look at him, he feels like he's been around forever, but he's only just turned 25. Come onto the scene early on, really. Fulham, 17-year-old, then big move to Man City at 18. But I think he's had 7 loans away from Manchester City. So I think now for Patrick himself, I think his contract's up at City, looking to nail down a contract at a new club and come in here. I think if we go off Saturday, the form he showed at the weekend and what he looked like he's capable of, then he'd be a good asset for the club to get on a contract. But between now and the end of the season, we'll see what he can do. Hopefully chip him with some more goals and assists. Right,
let's go through these big glass doors up here at the Academy Light and go and meet Patrick. Welcome to SAFC Unfiltered, Patrick Roberts. Patrick, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How is it going today? What's a general day look like for you at the Academy? I mean, you've just getting in, so do you have your breakfast here? Is that how it works?
Yeah, just had my breakfast. The lads kind of filter in about 15 minutes or so, and then got to train at 10:30.
And what's the usual training day look like? Or is it because we haven't got a game this weekend, you're expecting something new from the gaffer maybe?
Depends. Obviously with a game at the weekend you kind of prepare for that, so you kind of get ready in terms of shape and tactics and stuff, but like you said, international breaks can be quite weird and wonderful, so it might be just some fun, or I don't know, a couple of lads played last night for 23, so it might be a few boys coming up and might be quite fun, so we'll see.
Cool, right, so it's your first appearance on SAFC Unfiltered. This is mainly just to get the fans to know you a little bit better. We'll also find out what makes you tick, and at the end as well, Danny's prepared a little general knowledge quiz. Is Linda Gooch still a record holder on this?
5 out of 5, Lyndon.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, no way. Didn't expect that.
So we'll see how you get on with that. Patrick, you've been in a couple of months now. How have you felt since settling in at the club? Have you settled in? And what do you make of the club?
Yeah, been a few months now. Obviously I was in France, so coming here is obviously back home is much easier to kind of adapt and stuff. Played in England a long time, so it was just a new club and new beginning, and enjoyed it like any place I go to. You kind of just get some of the lads, get some of the area, and crack on with your football. Yeah,
can we speak about your journey to Sunderland so far? You had a well-documented move from Fulham to Manchester City, and then loan spells at Celtic, Girona, Norwich, Middlesbrough, Derby, and Troyes, I think is how you pronounce it. So very, a lot of big clubs there, a lot of different clubs, a lot of different cultures going on there as well. What did you learn during those loan periods?
I think you just learn a different maybe way of life, different kind of style of football, different league. Every league's different. I mean, Scotland was obviously kind of, it was a big club, and it was kind of 2 teams up at the time, and then obviously Spain was completely different, and then France the same. It was so similar in football terms, but in the way of life and the culture of football and the style of play they play was a contrast. So you take it with you. You take it to other clubs you go to, and obviously me being here now, you get that experience of playing abroad with different players and different styles of football, and you can adapt pretty simple.
And do you enjoy the challenges of meeting new groups of people and little things like language barriers and things like that? Or you must be someone who embraces these things then, because they're not easy. Normal. If you were to leave school with career aspirations in a different field, not many people would travel to Spain and France and Scotland for their job, would they?
No, they wouldn't. I think that's just quite a wonderful place. Footballers kind of in. You're gonna get that sometimes the opportunity to go and do them things, especially being on loan. Obviously, I was at Man City. They had a lot of clubs in relation. They could send players on loan, and a few of them obviously that I connected with, which was easier for me to go to. And you take it in straight away. You enjoy it. You embrace it, and you try and get as much as you can out of it.
How is the Spanish and the French? Any good?
Spanish was all right.
Yeah. Gone now.
Not right now. I did learn a bit when I was there. They kind of made me learn a little bit, but at the same time, Spanish is one of them languages. You go to holiday in Spain and that, and Marbella and whatnot. You kind of want to know the lingo, so I got into that. French was a bit different. I was only there a few months, and it was kind of a different contrast to France and Spain when I was playing. So it was more of kind of just enjoying the French lifestyle, and then just kick on with the football as much as I could.
Yeah. Going back early, Patrick, obviously you're still only 25 now, still young, but making your Premier League debut for Fulham at 17, then moving to Manchester City, a big move for you. City at that time taking off. What was it like as an 18-year-old lad walking into that change rooms with the likes of Aguero, company, David Silva, these type of players? Yeah,
it was interesting. It was, for a young kid, it was anybody's dream. I think when they were a kid, they want to play with the best players and train with the best players. I had that taste at Fulham at the time. They had a lot of experienced players, like Scott Parker, Steve Siddle, like Hangerland. They're all there, and I kind of made my debut around them in the Premier League. And obviously that was a turning point for them. They kind of changed up a little bit. Now they're a team that's very different to when it was back then. So the opportunity came to go. It was something I wanted to do, and like you said, you're going to change with all them. You've got to kind of up your game a little bit. Yeah, standards in training. Yeah, standards. It's a bit of a joke, but you kind of have to up yourself. So, which made me a better player, and I think which kicked me on a little bit. And then you go on these loans, and you take that experience from training with them, and you kind of want to help other people with that. And it seems a bit weird as a young kid, but when you train every day with them, you kind of see the standards, see the intensity, and you want to kind of implement that wherever you go. And I've tried to do that in terms of how they act off the pitch, on the pitch, and try to bring that to the clubs I've been at. Celtic,
you then went to on loan, was the first major spell away from Manchester City, and you enjoyed quite a good time there, didn't you? What was it like playing for a club like that, and what was your relationship like with the fans up there?
Yeah, I mean, it was many players that play for Celtic will tell you the same thing. It's like nothing you experience, really. I mean, like I said, there's two teams at the top there, very fierce rivalry, and at the time when I came there, it wasn't the same. They were kind of, Rangers were in the Championship, and then they obviously came up, and we were kind of, when I came, it was a changeover period, and I enjoyed my football the first 6 months, and then obviously Brendan Rodgers came in, and it was a kind of different atmosphere around the place. We had a good team together, and we kind of just was going into games feeling unbeatable at times, and it's a good period, and going to games, and the whole team, the whole fan base really, it feels like you can go and win it. Some places you go to and you think it's quite hard to win, but we kind of went in every game and thought, we started strong. We won the game in the first half really, and I think it's confidence as well. And that I think was your second season. You played 30 odd games, scored a few goals, didn't you? Would you say so far in your career that's your standout season? Would you say? Yeah, I think so. I mean, that was. Touchwood, I was obviously in G3 most of that season, and there was a lot of competition. I think it's good in any squad. See it here as well. We've got a lot of good players, and I think it's quite hard to kind of get in a team with good players. But if you're on a high and confidence, and when you come in, there's a lot of games. League Cups, Champions League at the time, and stuff like that. You come in and you thrive off it, and you do as best you can because you want to stay in the team. But once you get in the
good
team,
competition for places. That's what you need,
if you start playing bad, you're kind of out the team, and it's hard to get back in. So I think that was the competition and for places and stuff was the main thing. But like I said, when you're up there winning, it doesn't really matter. Everyone kind of just the morale's great, and kind of what you need in a club really.
So you came to Sunderland after some time in France, Patrick, and you didn't necessarily get straight into the side, and that was because, it was documented in press that perhaps you weren't match fit, if you like. Could you just explain to myself, Danny, you probably already know this, but to the listeners as well, Patrick, what's the difference between being a fit athlete, as you are as a professional footballer, and being match fit? What does that mean?
I think obviously you see from a training, you can get through training and stuff, but I think a game, a lot of footballers will tell you, is completely different. I mean, me playing at 90 minutes the other day, your body feels completely different, but I've been training for the last, God knows, the whole season. But yeah, I think because the lack of games I played prior to coming here, I think obviously was the sports scientists and obviously the managers, obviously at the time and now obviously have that input, and they feel, to come into a club like this, to the expectation to obviously do well, you need to be at your best possible.
And that must be frustrating for you though, because you're sitting there probably watching the games happen, thinking, I've got it in me what I need to have an impact on this game, but I can't get on the pitch, I can't get in the squad.
Yeah, I mean, that comes, like I said, with having a big squad as well. Everyone's got to be there ready to play, and you've come in and players have been playing throughout the whole season, doing well, and you don't expect to come straight in. It's got to give you that time, and I've had injuries in the past as well, so if I came in and obviously got injured again, it wouldn't be ideal for me or the club. So you kind of have to take that on the chin, just keep working hard, and be conversation with the manager and the physios and whatnot, and keep talking to them, and keep gauging them, that you feel good every session, every week, and I think that's what I did. I had honest conversations, and the manager said, just keep going, you're doing well, just keep working hard in training, and your chance will come. So it was good, and take your chance when it comes.
I think, as you mentioned there, you can do all the training you want, can't you? But 10 minutes out on the pitch, even 20 minutes in, when you come back in, you blow and you get that second win, don't you? And I think did you play in a 23s game the other week as well, 60 odd minutes under your belt, which is getting you up to speed.
Yeah.
Then I think you started your first game against Fleetwood the other week at the stadium, getting those minutes. And I think Saturday, for me and a lot of the fans as well, you were the standout player. I gave you man of the match on the commentary. I just thought you looked sharp, didn't you? You were getting on the ball. Every time you were getting it, you looked sharp, going past players, and that's where you're getting to now, having played those minutes.
Yeah, we played, I think it was Wigan, and we won. And I was thinking, we had a week to the next game. And there was a game on the Monday, obviously at home, for the 23s, and I thought, let me just.
So you asked to play as well?
Yeah, I just thought, let me just ask the manager if I can play, because there was no point in me taking 2 days off when I've come here to obviously help the club,
fit and get
playing,
fit,
and it gives me a better opportunity if I kind of get minutes under my belt, and it can only help me, obviously staying injury free from that game. Obviously, it can only help you in terms of your legs. So I asked the manager to play, and he was fine with it. He said, just go enjoy it and get minutes in your legs, and doing that was good. And then I think maybe he's seen obviously I could play obviously past 45, and it's good for him to have the options. And then when he puts you in the team, you've got to be able to keep that standard up, and that's what I'm trying to do, is help the team.
I think it's the same. You came in, Jermaine came in, Jack Clark as well, and Jack's similar as well. Wasn't really playing, at Spurs or wherever he's been on loan. A couple of 23s games. It's not the same as first team football, is it? He's coming as well now. You can see getting the minutes under Saturday. You on that right hand side or drifting around in the pocket, and Jack out on the left as well, getting up to match speed, causing defences issues.
Especially with the back end of the season, it gets a bit tough, doesn't it? And you need everyone gets a bit tired. The legs, even you can see in other clubs, obviously the legs get tired towards the end of the game, and you need that big team, bringing players on. We've won, I think, the last few games, we won off the bench, which the manager always said is important. No matter if you start, whoever finishes the game is going to be completely different. And I think whether you start or on the bench, you've got to be ready to kind of obviously help the team, and it's a big push towards the end of the season, which everyone needs to be involved in. And
you got your goal as well against Crewe. How did that feel to get that monkey off your back? And is that always something, as as an attacking player, you want to try and get as soon as you can?
Yeah, I mean, you can feel you had a good performance, but if you don't have the end product, it's quite hard to kind of judge a game. And I've always been one that wanted to kind of affect a game as much as possible. To score was nice, and obviously to help the team, and it just gives a boost around the club. We are a very attacking team, and we've got to kind of show that. We've got to score more goals, and I think that's one thing we can be, is more maybe clinical, and that comes from, like I said, scoring in these games and scoring a few goals and getting kind of goals under our belt, and we need that in the running.
Well, Danny, you were a defender. Just coming on to that, what Patrick's just said there, because Alex Neil's come in and he's got the clean sheets at the moment, so he's done the work at the back. Now it's up to Patrick and the guys to do what they can do on the other side.
No, well, it's, as you say there, it's frustrating. I think you look at the Charlton game and Saturday, pretty much a carbon copy where we dominated. We actually played well in those games for me, passed it round well, but didn't put the ball in the net. And then in between those was the Fleetwood and the Crew, where we didn't really play great, but we got the job done and scored 5 goals. So, as you said there, we're getting the balance, 4 clean sheets out of 5 at the back. We've tightened it up that end, and then you look on paper and the likes of yourself, Aidan McGeady to come back in, Alex Pritchard, Broadhead, we've got all these attacking players and it's just clicking there. And some fans will say at this stage in the season, and I agree to some extent, that we've only got 7 games left, results matter more than performances, don't they? But do you think as well, if we're putting in the performances like we did on Saturday, it should click anyway if we get that early goal?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it happens in football. Sometimes you just can't get it in the back of the net. I think Ross had a great header as well, which everyone thought was going to go in, which maybe we would have needed. But like I said, the keeper comes out and saves a blinder. So
penalty shout on yourself.
Yeah,
it looked like he was the wrong side. He wasn't. He looked like he pulled your arm back.
I said to Lana, I said, "What have you seen there?" I don't think.
Why are you going down there? We said it, didn't we?
There was a couple on Ross as well during the game. I think, and you've played in different leagues around the world as well. What do you make of the officials in League One so far? Without getting yourself into any bother.
I think sometimes maybe they call the right decisions, and then sometimes they kind of don't see something where it's a blatant, and you kind of think, well, you've given something that was hardly anything, and then something that's stonewall.
It's strange at the moment though, because even at the top level, you're watching, Super Sunday or whatever, and you see VAR decisions getting it completely wrong as well, and you're thinking, what's going on with officiating in the leagues at the moment?
I don't know. To be honest, I think it's just football. It's hard to kind of judge a game. I never want to be a ref. It's probably one of the worst positions on the pitch, isn't it?
That technical area, getting it off both dugouts,
especially with some of the managers on the touchline. But I don't know. I just think sometimes they get things wrong. Like sometimes it's like us as players. Sometimes we make a pass wrong, make a bad decision. It's just one of them things. But I think crucial games towards the end of the season, if it's a Stonewall pen, it's a Stonewall pen. But like I said, we can't get too amped about it. We've got to go move on to the next game.
I think aside from that as well, Saturday we perhaps had enough opportunities from open play. You've obviously rolled the ball into Jack. He's put it past the post. There's a couple of Jermaine came off the bench and he fired that one past the post as well. A couple of other opportunities. Corey, you set him, come off the post another day. That's Nestle, so it's fine margin.
Another day that kind of hits the post and comes back into Ross.
Someone's got to tap in,
so it's just one of them things. It was one of them days, and you kind of have to review the performance and take the positives.
Is that what the manager said after the game? Was really it was hard for him to come in and start going ballistic at the lads. Really, when we've put in that performance, it's just keep at it.
I think it is because he implements stuff obviously in our game, especially in the final third in terms of our pressing stuff like that, which
I thought that was good.
I thought we did really well, and obviously comes from kind of here in the structure he wants to play, and we did stuff like that, and then kind of the other stuff is the finishing, which kind of we're all good players. We should be kind of scoring them chances, and it's kind of something you can't really put anything down to, just putting the ball in the back of net. So after the game, it's not much you can say really. You kind of just take the point and you could go again.
One other thing I've just noticed, I'm going to point out, why the number 77? What's going on there?
I don't know. I can't always wear 7.
Oh right, so 7 was gone. Got the 7.
17 was gone.
Yeah.
I think I asked for 27. They said I couldn't have that, and that was my man Oscar said that. And then there was loads of other numbers with 7, so I thought
double 7.
If I can get double 7, then I'll get double 7.
Right, okay.
That was your choice, wasn't it? Was
cleared that up.
Yeah.
That's Oscar Chamberlain across the other side of the room there. Tell us about the qualities in the dressing room and your teammates. Then, who are the senior players are in and around the squad who are encouraging the lads like yourself to play well and get to where someone need to go?
Obviously, Corey, experience. Bailey's been around the leagues, and he's very vocal and gets the boys going. And obviously, Geeds. I know he's not playing, but he's always influential and kind of. Especially with me, I've obviously wingers being wingers and players like that.
There's a few similarities between you and Aidan, and I think that the fans are starting to see that as well. But you've had similar kind of players, obviously different ends of your careers maybe as well, though. Yeah. But you just said he speaks to you. What kind of things does he say?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just because we're the type of players
He wasn't at Celtic when you were there, then, was he?
No, he was long gone by then, I think. Don't tell him that, but obviously being at we both had that experience of being at Celtic, and you know, we both. I used to actually one of my debuts actually. He was on the pitch for Everton, and I always remember. One thing I always remember is he kind of chopped me, and I was only 17 at the time. And that was one thing I remember, because obviously make a debut, it was my home debut at Craven Cottage or something, I don't know. And yeah, he was on the other side, and I always remember him chopping me. So that's something I always remember. And then obviously speaking to him here, I get up with him great. Obviously had the same experiences, and you know, he's someone you look up to and start to play, and you kind of can try and learn from him. Yeah, so it'd be obviously nice to have him around again. But like I said, he's influential off the pitch as much as he was on the pitch when he was playing.
And what about any kind of like best buds or anything like that? Is anyone you've been knocking around with outside of the club?
Jack Clark, when he's come in, I sit next to Jack in the change room. Similar age, get on quite well, and Pritch and Danny, obviously when we all came in together, so you kind of speak to them a lot, get on with them quite well. And we sit on the bus, we play Uno together. So
Uno?
Yeah, competitive game of Uno, yeah, on a Friday afternoon or Monday afternoon, wherever it may be.
Who's the pranksters in the group?
The pranksters, I don't know. There's not many. It's more just we banter each other, really.
Yeah. Who was the pranksters when you were here, Danny?
I do remember one actually. Can I give names on the
Yeah.
pod? Yeah, I think it was. I think Michael Chopper actually. He actually put a fish on the canteen. It was a fish day, and put a fish in the back of one of the lads' lockers down in there. Obviously, towards the end of the day, we come in the next morning stunk in there. I think it was Dean Whitehead opened his locker, and then this fish is stinking his locker out. Yeah, so.
Oh well, there we go.
Be on your toes.
Doesn't happen that long this time nowadays.
Yeah, can't get away with that now. Patrick, what's your favourite position to play? And obviously, I mean, on a game like the last game, you were all over the park, pretty much. You know, going back and picking it up, and then find yourself on the wings, and then number 10 position as well. But where's your ideal position to play?
Since I was a kid, I've always played obviously off the right. I played it up in the 10 when I was younger, when I was at Fulham. I think more just because you get the ball maybe more, you're a bit more free in that position, I think. And like I was on the weekend, it kind of gives you more license to kind of go and get the ball wherever.
And was that your instructions from Alex Neil as well?
Sort of, yeah. Pritch kind of, when I came in, Pritch kind of does it. He kind of roams around, gets in the ball as much as possible.
Centre-halves don't like to go in with you, do they? And pass you on to the midfielders.
Yeah, and he kind of doesn't want you, obviously, wrong side of the halfway line, but anywhere on the other side, he kind of just wants you to get the ball and kind of create something. So I quite like the position. It's quite free and allows you to do, a lot of things that I like to do, and gives you the license to do that. But I mean, in this team, it's kind of the way we play. It's kind of any position up there. It's quite elusive and quite.
And is it good to have someone in front of you like Ross Stewart as well, who is very adept to running down the channels or getting something on the end of his head?
Yeah, no, I mean Ross is great. You can see, game in, game out, he's always running the channels. He's always wants first to press. He's always there for you to feet. He's ideal for a player like me and others around me. He'll come to short and he'll bounce it, and he's got that touch to do that. And also, I like someone that runs behind, and he'll still do that even for the size of him. He still does it, which for me is great. And then you've got others running off you is also what you need. And he brings a lot at the end of the pitch, and he scores a lot of penalties, but he does score a lot of other goals, which has obviously been important for us and crucial, and will be crucial for the next 7 games.
I think as well, you mentioned they're playing obviously naturally left-footed, playing on that right-hand side, and a few people are questioning in recent weeks, Jack on the other side, predominantly right-footed, likes to come in as well, and you see that, don't you, at the top level. You look at Salah, plays on the right, Mahrez as well, just thinking of left footers like yourself. That's because the pitch opens up, doesn't it, when you come inside, and it's a nightmare for a defender. I've been left back. If I've got a right footer out there, they want to go down the wing, it narrows the pitch up. But if you do manage to nick inside it, it just opens up, doesn't it?
I think good players nowadays, they can go either side. So if you're a stronger foot like Mahrez, and you see Son the other day, but Son always goes on the left, he's right footed, but if you show him to the right, he'll score there.
Over as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got to step over. So I mean, it's having that unpredictability, I think, and you see that in a lot of the good players. They kind of have that, and you don't know what way they're going to go. And, they can shoot on either foot, and it's got a good chance.
So you're all right on the right, the swinger as well?
No, I'm not, but I'll give it a go.
Do you set yourself any targets when you came in? Did you have a figure in mind that you wanted to try and get assists or goals?
I think if you.
Or just game time in general?
Yeah, I think just from where I was, the position I was in, I just wanted to come in, just being around good team environment again. You know, playing.
And there was a certain amount of. Did you want to feel settled somewhere? Did you want to feel like you had a home?
Yeah, when I've been on the move a lot, you know, you could only stay places 6 months. Sometimes it's not really a home. Obviously, you sign 6 months here, you kind of get that gauge, and you're signed at the club, and you know the club obviously want you to do well as much as I want to do well for myself. So goes hand in hand really. And I just want to come in, do the best I can, get as many minutes as I can, help the club as best as possible. Because if the club does well, you know you're part of that. So you know yourself does well, and you get that accolades as well. So I just wanted to didn't have any objectives really. Just kind of do the best I can, play as many minutes as I can.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say exactly that. Since obviously Celtic, where you played a lot of games there, and then you've had sort of 20, 30 games here and there at different clubs. Do you see this now as that opportunity to come into Sunderland, not say prove yourself as such, but to earn the contract maybe moving forward? You've probably seen in the time you've been here where this club should be and can get to. And 7 or 8 games to go, hopefully a few more in the playoffs, and sort of be on that journey with us and nail down what you feel is like your club now.
Definitely. I mean, you want to be part of something special, and you know, to be part of something special like a club like this would be enormous. Just coming in, just cracking on with things, and you know, doing the best I can, and trying to hopefully, you know, settle down. And that's where I want to be in my career, is settle down, not be on the move all the time, not be here, there, everywhere, and just be in one place and enjoy it really. Because
you're coming into your prime now, really. I'd say 25, the next 5 years or so.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, I've been on loan so many times. It can get quite daunting and quite, you know, a bit long, as I would say. And you just want to settle somewhere, really. That's been the main thing for me. And you know, you can work out different places, but when you're signed at a club, it's more of a different atmosphere, I've always thought. Just getting that kind of that stability was key for me, really.
Alex Neil as well hasn't been here that long either. What's been your opinion of Alex since he came in, and also what does he expect from the squad?
Yeah, the gaffer's been great. Obviously with Kanza coming in as well. I think I played against them. Obviously they were Hamilton manager, so I kind of knew them from the time there, and obviously he's from up there, so he knows what it's like to play up there. And kind of speaking to him, he's his CV speaks for itself. He's done well everywhere he's been, and he's brought clubs up, and he's played good football, and he's played the right football and the kind of football people want to see. And first day one, he's kind of set out what he wants from us and what he thinks he can do. And you know, as players, all we want is like clarity and, you know, honesty and kind of, you know, a way of playing and a thinking of playing. And he gives that, and he has many ideas for games, different games, what kind of game it's going to be, and he has ways to counter that. And I think it's good for us. And we like I said, we need that clarity going into games, and you know, an idea of playing. And he's brought that, which has benefited us, I think.
Yeah, because I think sometimes you signed in January, and then I think it was Lee Johnson still in charge. I'm not sure if he'd just gone, but so you think you're signing for one manager, don't you? And then all of a sudden the manager's gone, and then it's, you know, a case of who's going to come in. It took 12 days, I think, before Alex came into the job. And then sometimes it's a case for a player as well. Does that manager fancy me as a player, really, isn't it? Am I going to suit his system? And those things sort of come into your mind as well.
I think that's the hardest point. I mean, I think it was only a week, and the manager obviously was gone, so it's kind of hard. Got first impressions again, obviously. But for me, I don't mind that. I've always wanted a first impression. You kind of, when you sign for managers and it doesn't really work out, it's quite hard. But a new manager comes in, doesn't really know what you like.
I suppose that's the same for the other players that were here anyway, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, of course, because when a manager wants to sign a player, if he has no option to sign the player, he kind of has the players he's got. Yeah. And, you know, see him first hand, maybe he can think of a certain kind of way, and then when he sees you in the flesh and stuff and sees you around the place, you can think, oh, well, he's like this. And then on the training pitch, obviously the same.
That's why you've got to impress him then, isn't it, when he comes in?
Yeah, and you kind of, I've always been the same wherever I've been, and, you know, some managers you come with, some managers you don't, and you just obviously hope it clicks. And no, the manager's been great with me, especially, and the other players, and he's got us in a good position, and we've got to obviously do our best and you know, thrive with that.
I was going to say about that position as well. Alex Neil was in here, did the last podcast with us here on SAFC Unfiltered, and he said he was just very much focused on game by game. But as a player, are you and your teammates looking at the league table? You know, there'll be fixtures tonight as well getting played. Are you looking at the league table thinking, oh, if they get 3 points there, or, you know, if they beat them, or are you as focused as the manager?
I don't think we can think like that. I think we've got to take each game back it comes, because if we win our games, it doesn't matter anyone else does. And we've had that idea since he's come in. He obviously sets the game out in terms of the team we play against, and that's his job, and we've got to do it on the pitch. So yeah, we've not worried about the opponents or anyone around us. We've kind of just wanted to do our job. It's been a tough turnaround, but we're getting to a point where I think we're in a good position, and the table's obviously, when you look at the table, it's still there, and we're still around it. So it's just a positive thing, and if elsewhere points get taken off of the club, then great. But at the same time, we've just got to worry about the next game.
Yeah.
No, I suppose it's those 6 pointers, so-called, isn't it? Plymouth, Oxford, and Rotherham in and around us as well. To come. But do you see this break now as a good thing for the lads? I mean, yes, we played well at the weekend, but from the manager's point of view and the staff, maybe they're getting 1 or 2 lads back from injury as well, so a chance to recoup and try different ideas on the training pitch.
It would have been nice to obviously get the 3 points, but like you said, the performance, carry that in 2 weeks, we can kind of build on that and get ready for the next game. But yeah, we've kept clean sheets, we've won games, and players coming back, like you said, would be good for obviously competition and the running, and you need them players fit, especially like Pridge and Brody, and they bring quality to the squad, and even if it's off the bench or when they start, it's always good to have in your team, and we need them players, like I said, for the running, and it would be an important few games for us.
All right then, it's time now for you to take on Danny's general knowledge quiz, Patrick. Everyone's done it, even the likes of Christian Speakman, who has actually got the worst record on here as well. We didn't give it to the gaffer because, to be honest, I was a bit scared of him. But but Danny, you've got some questions now for Patrick.
Yeah.
General knowledge?
Well, there's 5. There's a couple football related, one to do with himself, and then, as you said, a couple of the general knowledge as well. Yeah. So the first one, I've gone relatively easy, I'd say, for him. And you made your Man City debut in the League Cup against Sunderland back in 2015. What was the score that day?
Can you remember the game?
Yeah, I can.
Can't remember the scoreline though.
There's 2 scorelines I've got here.
Do you want a clue or not?
Yeah.
Right, there was 5 goals in the game.
5-0.
4-1.
I thought it was 3-0 or 5-0.
4-1 it was. And do you remember who you came on for that day?
Kevin De Bruyne. Came off. Kevin De Bruyne came off, I came on. Kun Aguero.
Navas.
There's so many names.
7, we'll put it down, 7 years has passed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's not a great start.
No,
but
I'll keep going.
Question number 2, a little bit of a maths one for you here. Now, how well do you know your teammates' squad numbers? So what is the total number if you add up the following 3 players' squad numbers in the current squad? Carl Winchester, Jay Matete, and Ross Stewart.
Okay.
No calculators.
It's like a double question, this, or triple question, isn't it? You've got to know your squad numbers. Danny, you're quite good at squad numbers, I'll give you
56.
that.
56.
He's right.
Spot on. Yes, squad numbers are?
Winchester. 15, 27, and 14.
Well done.
A geek like me, isn't it?
I heard he was good at maths.
Yeah. Could be an accountant.
Yeah, recovered well. So question number 3, US states. You've been around, been to America a few times?
A few times, yeah.
Oh, well, good. How many of the US states have new in their name? How many US states have new in their name?
I want to say 2.
You want to say 2? Are you going with 2?
There's probably more than that in there.
Is it a trick question?
No.
There's a lot of states.
No.
Because there's the word new in like a word. No.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, because obviously you got
Read them out if they've
got New Jersey and you got New York. Is that the same one?
No, that's 2. Yeah, you're
2?
right there. That's 2 of them. There's more though.
Got New Orleans.
Yeah.
No.
It's not.
No, it's Mississippi.
Oh, I said that.
Don't mean that.
No.
Hold on. Yeah, no. I only got 2.
So it's 4, New Hampshire and New Mexico.
New Mexico, yeah. When I got New Hampshire, but New Mexico's 4.
New Orleans, I think so.
Never mind. Carry on. Number 4.
Yeah, number 4 is, in which country would you find the original Legoland?
Oh, bloody hell.
Do you like Lego?
I've been there. No.
Did when I was 5. I've been to.
Do you want a clue on this one
Yes,
as well?
please.
I'm going to give a clue. It's a Scandinavian country.
I was going to say a Scandinavian country. I want to say Sweden. No, Norway. Denmark.
It's Denmark. Yeah, it's Denmark, yeah.
Bloody hell.
Right, okay. And the last one. What direction is opposite southeast on a compass? Directly opposite southeast on a compass. The fingers are out there.
Southeast. It's not west-north, is it? Northwest.
Almost. Yes, that's
Northwest.
it.
Northwest.
Yeah,
Northwest is correct.
He's done it.
West-north.
West, north, northwest.
I think that's Kanye's son, isn't it? You mentioned it. Right. 2 out of 5, is that?
2 out of 5, yeah.
Not bad.
Steady, middle of the road, mate, yeah. A lot of
Decent,
lads hit
innit?
2 or 3 out of that, yeah. So
Form of the
good
weekend.
with the maths, so sharp on the squad numbers.
Decent, that, Patrick. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, then. That's probably it for SFC Unfiltered with yourself, Patrick. But you still have a big part to play in the season. Obviously, all the fans wish you well in the run-in to the season. What would it mean to you to have a part to play in success for Sunderland?
Yeah, I mean, any player's dreams, obviously, to achieve success, especially here. Obviously, how long it's been, it would be great. I think for all the players, I think it's the same. You know, you want to. That's the goal. That's been the goal since the start of the season. The goal for the players coming in January. The manager is to obviously achieve that and more. So yeah, if we can get over the line, it'd be amazing. But there's obviously 7 games to play and hopefully the rest. So. Yeah, we've got to be fully focused and not get carried away with ourselves and, you know, take each game as it comes.
So myself and Danny are back outside of the Academy of Light. Patrick Roberts was the guest on this week's SAFC Unfiltered. Nice lad.
He was, yeah. I thought he spoke well. You know, he's saying it there, isn't he? Really, you can see he feels like he needs to nail down himself at a club which he feels like is his club. He's had a lot of loan spells. I said earlier on, he's a young lad still. He's got a lot of football ahead of him. And I think between now and the end of the season, if he keeps producing like he did at the weekend, then I'm sure the club would love to get him signed up for next season as well.
Yeah, and the fans would like that because he's one of those players that gets you on the edge of your seat, isn't he?
He is. I think you refer to him as like Aidan McGeady, really, in a way. As soon as they receive the ball, these types of players, they're exciting. You know something's going to happen in and around that 18-yard box. And you know, again, as I said, it's what we've seen at the weekend from him. He looks sharp now. He's going past players. He can pick a pass. You know, unlucky the one Jack Clark had in that second half, and Corey Evans as well could have had a couple of assists. A penalty, as we said. I thought it was a penalty at the weekend. So he causes problems for the opposition, and when he comes inside on his left foot, the pitch opens up, and I think he's got the ability to cause problems. And
an international break now for the players and the squad. At this time of the season, is that a handy thing, or would you prefer to be playing week in, week out?
I think from the lads' point of view, you like to crack on and get playing. You know, you're coming to the business end of the season. I think at the weekend it was a good performance, albeit we didn't get the result we were after. But when you're playing well and you want to get back out there, it'll feel like a long break for some of these boys now. Yes, we've got 1 or 2 away on internationals. Obviously, Ross has been called up as well. So hopefully he comes back injury-free. But at the same time, it gives us the opportunity to get, as I said, Nathan back, Alex Pritchard, 1 or 2 others, Danny Bart maybe. So get these lads back out the treatment room. Good competition for places because we're going to need them between now and the end of the season. And yes, there's 7 games, hopefully 10 games to go.
Okay, Danny, thanks once again. Remember to subscribe to SAFC Unfiltered on all your favourite podcast platforms. We'll see you next time.